Hello, welcome to MacBoss Capital channel. My name is Michael and I'm here with Sunil. And this is the weekly market recap ending March 1st, 2024. And very interesting week overall. Market did hit new highs, closing the week very strong. And we're starting to see some market breadth expand. So that's also very good. So we have more stocks to talk about today. In general, the leaders are still holding pretty tight, and some are advancing still. So those are still good signs. And I think those are two things we want to continue to look at: is whether market breadth will continue to expand, especially to the smaller caps, and then whether the leaders are still going to hold. And I don't know which ones are better signs, but either way, we gotta look at both. If the leaders start to fall, then we have to look at, are the recent breakouts, are they going to hold, or are they going to fail as well? Are they going to come back? And so we don't know, are they independent or not? And yeah, but there's no doubt a lot of the leaders, early leaders that have gone up, now they are quite extended, and we'll look at some of those charts. And we are in I believe 17 weeks of the rally now, something like that. I can't remember, 17 or 18, but we're getting closer to the average now. We are at the average probably, and in terms of the length of the rally. And also we in March. We just started March. We'll have a Fed meeting in less than 2 weeks. What are they going to say? Are they going to talk about? Are they going to say, hey, economy is too good, we're not going to cut rates even in June? Then we'll probably see a market pullback on that day for sure, just like last time early in February. But then is that going to turn into a bigger pullback or correction? I don't know. So we'll have to watch for all those things. But just a few tips that my our friend Jim Ropel mentioned in his webcast. And these are things that he learned from Bill O'Neill, and that some of them he quoted from him. You want to look for leaders coming out in the first few months in the new bull market. So again, in terms of reference, I consider early November the beginning of the real bull. Like obviously the bottom happened October 2022, but really I think the run in terms of the recent rally really shows who are the leaders. And we saw many of them came out, SMCI, Nvidia, a lot of the chip stocks, right? So that probably was the strongest group to date, based on that time frame. But there's a lot of other leaders who also came out. So those are probably going to be the leaders of this bull market, like the early ones that came out. The ones that are probably coming out right now, or even late last month, I don't think they are the true leaders. They're probably just the laggards who are joining the stock market rally right now. And that's why I'm a little bit worried about that. We are maybe at the later stage of this, a rally before a pullback, or even deeper correction coming. So anywhere from 5 to 10% on the market. Look for new products. Companies will make new products. Obviously, Nvidia is really probably considered by many the leader right now. Again, you want to look for companies with top-notch new products that people want to buy. But he did mention, Jim Ropel did mention that he's worried that Nvidia is now becoming such a big talk in the street. Even your shoe sunshine boy might tell you to buy Nvidia, and when that happens, that's usually the last leg of it. And so he's a little bit worried about that. That probably also explains why AMD, second runner-up right now, is doing much better in terms of strength in the recent week, right? So because I actually did the same thing. I because I already sold out of Nvidia. I'm a swing trader, so I don't hold it for long. Unlike Jim Ropel, I decided to get into AMD, right? Because it has a short consolidation, and now after it breaks out, it's pretty strong. So, but I do think that Nvidia has a huge effect on the market. So if that guy really tops, I do think that it will drag the market down because of sentiment. So again, how much of an impact, I'm not sure. We'll see. So the next bullet point here, again, we are in a bull market, which I believe we are, especially Nasdaq just making a new closing high. I think that you have to always be mindful that are you a swing trader or long-term investor. If you are Mark Mini, like a swing trader, I follow that method more. Or you're a Jim Ropel that like to hold for the duration of the bull. That you have to figure that out for yourself, because I think that makes a big difference in how you deal with especially pullbacks and corrections, right? So yeah. So true market leaders, they tend to run for average 84 weeks. So that's like a little bit more than a year and a half, right? So again, if the leaders are just breaking out in the last few months, we could have another over a year of bull run, right? For these guys, they're gonna, like Jim Ropel said, the true leaders, they will beat 4 to 5 to 6 or even 8 quarters of earnings. They will continue to beat, and if you hold through all those earnings, you could have a huge run, right? Just like Nvidia, three quarters of beats so far, right? And raise guidance. So that's already 3 quarters right there for Nvidia. So but who knows? It could last another 4 quarters or 5 quarters, right? And by that time, you will probably have a significant gain because you let it compound and let it multiply. So again, defining your strategy is very important. And yeah, Jim Ropel also mentioned be ready for 10-week pullbacks. It happens, and as much as you don't think it will happen, it will happen. That's just a normal thing. In every bull cycle, no matter how strong the bull is, they do tend to pull back to 10-week eventually, and they will do it at least a few times, and even in a year. So right now we're in a very strong rally, so we haven't seen any pullback as much to the 10-week yet, but it will happen, and that's why I'm very worried about this pullback coming within the next month or so, or even 2 months. Like I don't know when, but make no mistake, the next pullback will be more severe, especially as this rally continue to get stronger. The longer it goes, usually the bigger the pullback, right? Because by that time, most people will be trapped, and especially people who are getting in late, they'll be trapped. They think that, hey, I switched my thought, now I'm a bull, right? And all of a sudden, that's when things turn, and then you just don't have, maybe you don't have risk management, and you just keep letting it go down. So be cautious about that. Now, the one good thing that I start to notice, and Jim Ropel make it clear, is that a lot of the leaders are building tight formation recently. So like 2 to 3 weeks or even 4 weeks tight formation. So that's a very bullish sentiment as well. So meaning the stock just want to go higher, and we'll see that in many of the leaders as well. He did mention tax season is coming up. Because some of the investors, a lot of them make money last year, and so they might have to cover their taxes by selling, right? So there might be some selling. That's another thing that could come. Generally, I think in US the tax season is due April 15th. So early April is kind of like around that time frame is where things could could turn a little bit. So something to think about. All right, in terms of notes for this week, like so Nasdaq here on Monday test resistance at 16,000 level for the second time this month. The previous high is 16,212 on November 2021. And we added a distribution day on Monday, so that was a little bit of a concern here. At least for I think that was for S&P. Tuesday we saw the Case-Shiller Home Price Index rose 0.2% December. I'm not sure if that's better than expected. I think it wasn't better than expected. Consumer Board Confidence Index 106. Wall Street expected 115, so that's definitely fell more than expected. The Russell was very close to the 52-week high. The Nasdaq, 100. So this is the Nasdaq 100. Tried to conquer the 18,000 level. But the problem here is the relative strength line has started to flatten out. So so that was a concern there. So the one stock that really stood out this week was VKTX, Viking Therapeutics. Report results for weight loss drug that really propel it like really high. And there's a Jim Robel mentioned that this could be a takeover target, especially after this trial results. Just because Lilly and Novo, they both are the leaders and they don't want a third player, right? So there's a high chance someone wants to take it over. So so that's why it really moved on that result. Okay. So on Wednesday again, very interesting. Nasdaq had a fourth distribution day, and so yeah, so I was a little bit concerned by Wednesday because we have two distribution days now on the same week. Thursday, so the PC index came out and they were meeting expectation. So rise 0.3% on annually and month over 1.4. I believe 2.8%. This is the core. So they were all looking pretty good. So I can show you a chart. Let's see if I can find it right now on the IBD newspaper. There's a chart that shows it tells a bigger picture when you look at the chart. So let me just make it a little bit bigger here. So it rise, like I said, PC rise 0.2, core 0.3, core rise 0.4. Even though those numbers are a little bit high, but the overall yearly change is still heading down. So you can see now we are in the 2% zone, and that's why market react pretty positively on Thursday. So that was a good thing, but but the 6-month annualized rate is actually heading a little bit up because, like I said, it's a little bit high, 0.3, 0.4, right? So the 0.4 on the core side pushes it. Actually, the trend is the 6-month trend is actually going back higher. Now, market did not look into this too much, so it did still rally that day. So that's a good thing. Initial jobless claim did come up higher than expected, so that also helped a little bit. But the home sales data fell sharply, 4.9% versus a gain. So that was interesting. So I'm not sure how the housing stocks do. We'll take a look. Yeah, we can take a look right now. So let's go to XHB. Okay, so it looks like it didn't have any hiccup here in general, so it continued to trend higher. This is yeah, this is very bullish right now, this group. So this is like the nice tight base here, and then now it's really on the uptrend. So yeah, so you know, I own Toll, and I'm trying to find more ways to add to this, because I feel like this could be the leader this time. So here's a nice breakout right here, and look at after the breakout what happened. There's no any sort of pullback, right? That's how strong this stock is. And then here, it didn't even want to touch the 10-day line, so this uptrend is on. This is the slope right now, very strong. The other one that Jim Ropel holds is PHM. Again, he did say Toll is stronger this time, but who knows, this could catch up as well. So very similar tight pattern here, and this one is still closer to the breakout point. So but Friday make a really strong move. Yeah, so both of these stocks look pretty good. Yeah, there you go. All right, Friday we have consumer sentiment. It fell. So the 1-year inflation expectation held at 3%, which is in line with estimates. Purchaser Manager Index rose, so that was slightly better. And then the supply manufacturing, that one actually fell. So, but market didn't react to anything negative on Friday. It was pretty strong the whole day Friday. So we can look at a day 15-minute chart on let's say Nasdaq. So this is like Friday, really strong. Like it didn't even like the whole day, like almost, right? And then later in the day, some little very minor profit taking probably. But yeah, very strong day overall. This is really positive. We came out of this like really tight action here, and you know we had this like previous week we had this gap, right? Move up, and then we had this consolidation, and then now we're breaking out on this tight zone. So we go to the daily chart. You can see this tightness right here. So that's really you know, really good sign how tight this is after, you know, this is the the 7-day pullback. That was it. And then you know, we have that huge gap up, and here we go. So I believe that was the gap up day was the Nvidia news, right? So we go back to Nvidia. Yeah, this was the date. So the Nvidia news propelled it much higher, and you know, and Nvidia, you can see also make a new closing high. So yeah, so right now, you know, the slope of Nvidia is still very strong. Like it's still 45-degree angle. This was the break right here. This was 21-day pullback. Very small pullback. Very quick as well. So just a few days there. So the market is continuing this run. You know, if you didn't see that blip, it doesn't really. It still looks like it's on a strong uptrend. And if you go back to your Nasdaq, it's similar, like, you know, action. You know, this Nasdaq, you know, 21 day is almost like the, you know, the area where it tends to pull back, and since November we have like 5 pullbacks so far to the 21 day. and that's what most people say. As long as it doesn't break this 21-day too much, it will continue, right? And right now it looks like it's continuing. And if you draw the upper channel line right here, so it looks like we just at the bottom of that channel line, and which means we probably have higher to go right here, because it's still in this channel line. So that's good news. So especially now that Nasdaq broke to new high, if you look at a weekly chart, this was the moment right here, and it's a clean breakout, and that's exactly what you like to see. Is a nice clean breakout, and then volume is there on this week. So this is very bullish. This is, in my opinion, quite bullish right now. So so we just talked about Nasdaq. It's now okay. So it is now 18 weeks now on this rally. It was up 16. There's only 2 red bars here out of the 18 weeks. So very strong. Yeah, this is quite incredible rally so far, and I should probably change my markup here for just to make it say 18 weeks up now. And the reason I keep track of this, because is you can look at past rally 19 weeks here, and then even during the 21 run, 23 weeks up, 15 weeks up. So generally the average based on IBD study is around 18 weeks. So we are at the average mark right now. So again, if you, I don't know, I think it's very hard to play this market right now if you trying to get in, because it may be a little, there's definitely less reward, higher risk, right? And so again, I talk about the bull trap. It's possible that it could happen, and so be mindful of that. Just make sure you have good risk management rule, because if you start entering now and then market go into a correction mode, you could lose quite a bit. So just something to be mindful of. And then S&P, closed above 5100 for the first time. So let's go look at that. So here we go. 5137 is where it closed. Again, very nice new high here. So definitely every major index is showing the muscle right now, really strong. And then if we go to Dow, I think it also hit a new high. Okay, maybe not. It was so yeah, Dow. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's Boeing or whatever. Like it just this week was a little bit weak, but it's still pretty tight. It didn't make a new high though, so that's interesting. So that was the exception this week. And then finally Russell. So Russell, everyone's watching this index like a hawk, because we want to see market breadth expand, and it did close at the top. So new closing high in the last 2 years, 52 weeks high. So yeah, so highest level since April 2022. So that's like back here, right? So this is really good. So I think it has tried many times, and even recently, this, like Jim Ropel mentioned, so you have this 3 resistance fell, and then the most recent one fell. Not only it fell, it came back so hard and undercut the 50-day to shake out a lot of people. And then not only that, if we look at the daily chart, we just see how volatile this is. So this is the 50-day line. It bounced a little bit, and then it came back in. That's another time. It goes up more, higher highs, and then came back again to the 50-day, and then it went one more time, and then 50-day. Look at this shakeout right here. Like, I mean, if you don't have the stomach for this, you'll be out for sure. Like, you'll be shaken, and you might even be starting to give up. And so, and look at what happened this time. It did not come back to 50-day right here. And that was it. I mean, it did come back to it right here. Sorry, I missed this one. It did come back to it, but this time, it's funny how it just keep testing, and finally we came out right here. Is this gonna pull back? I don't know. We'll see. This is challenging.
Can we also see the volume?
Yeah, so let's go back to the volume part.
That I didn't.
Yeah, this one doesn't show volume. If you go to IWM, the ETF, the volume is not that high. The selling is definitely minimal. So you could, I would say the red bar, you know, is good. It's not much selling here, so that's probably explain why we're moving higher. But we haven't seen any like breakout volume yet. So it's very quiet. Like even the whole day yesterday and Thursday, it wasn't like, you know, it was very quiet, and so everyone's just watching this, right? So no, it looks like no one's making big moves yet. But you know, now that we are closing at the top, we'll see if next week we'll break through this, right? And that's what I think a lot of people is hoping for. And once the volume start piling in, like people really believe this is a real breakout, then the, you know, then this is, you know, really related to the part I'm talking about, which is, you know, can the market breadth expand, and the small cap will take part. So the other important one is the mid cap, and the mid cap already broke out, right? We mentioned this, you know, a week of last 2 weeks. It already broke out, and so this is already joining the rally, right? So the mid cap is joining the rally. I don't know if it make a new high. Let me see. So 533. So around 533. Okay, so we're very close to breaking out here too. So you know, to new high. So, but at least the recent consolidation, it broke out. So that's the positive sign here. So here's the consolidation, and it's now taking off. The mid cap is taking off. So again, so more mid cap stocks are joining the rally. So now we really want to see the small caps join the rally. So we'll see. You know, if that happens, then you know, we could see a market breadth expansion, and then it'll be much easier for the stock to move, right? Just because as more money comes in and partake in the market rally. The RSP equal weight S&P also make a new recent high. So this is also getting very close to previous high. So you can see pretty much so the equal weight, you know, means that, you know, is measuring the whole broad market rather than market weighted cap, right? Market cap weighted. So yeah, so this is very close. Let's see what it is right here. The high is 164.90. So we are 1 point away from new high. So this coming week will be a very telltale sign in terms of, you know, can the market breadth, you know, break out? And if it does, we expect more money to come in on those breakouts, right? Because usually breakouts, you know, is very eye-catching, and people will want to come in and buy it. So institution will be more confident in those breakouts, and we'll see. And then we have equal weight Nasdaq, and equal weight Nasdaq also broke out already, like, you know, a few weeks ago, and this week you can see it even broke out from the recent tight action. So this is definitely this is very interesting because you know, the Nasdaq 100 is very strong, right? So it's happening, and this breakout is really nice and clean as well. So we'll see. Those are all good signs. It looks like, you know, the market breadth is expanding. So this is what everyone's waiting for, and you know, more money might come into the market if this continue. We'll also look at the IBD 50 index, and this one also start to move as well. Look at this, it closed at the top, and this uptrend is very strong on this 50-day line. So growth stocks are definitely working, and so recently we had this, you know, so this is the the 10 day, 21 day kind of line here, and recently we have this break right here, and that has shaken out a lot of people now, but it came back pretty fast, and now we're on the uptrend again, and this breakout so far is looking pretty good, and yeah, staying tight to the 10 day. So so again, even for growth stocks still look healthy, and I guess we'll look at the 10-year yield. It hasn't moved that much, so very stable. On Friday it came back down. I don't remember if it was reacting to any news, but so yeah, so it been, we talk about this concern here. It was rising, so it looks like this week it finally came back down. So that's also good news. Yeah. And then we'll look at the dollar. The dollar has been pretty tight, stable. So this is also good. Not going down, not going up. I think that's good for a business. The more stable it is. And US dollar. Sorry, the US oil. I believe it hit 80 this week, I think. But I'm not sure what happened on Friday. I think Friday, yeah, it was strong too. So yeah, the US dollar, US oil, sorry, I'm saying US dollar. Also like make a new recent high. So this is also, yeah, like, I mean, I definitely bought into some stocks this week. We can look, not too many, just a few, like, so like we can look at WF, Weatherford. Yeah, broke out right here. Well, it already broke out, but then it pulled back to the 10 day once more. And then look at how this 1 day of action like took back like the last 5 days of action, right? Like just that's usually what you want to see in a stock is, when it pulls back, the duration in this case is 4 or 5 days, but then it only took 1 day to capture all that losses back, right? So that's a very strong sign for the stock, meaning there's not too many want to sell, and when there's buying, it just couldn't even, like, it's a supply demand thing, and it just shows that when the money comes in, like you can see this volume, when the money comes in, it just couldn't even hold it down, like it just shoot to new high. So those are always a good technical signs of a stock, and yeah, I like it, and I'll probably add to it as if this continue to move. It's a very good looking chart right now. Again, this is a base on base pattern. So the longer the base, the higher chance of it moving faster is much higher. So it's probably gonna, And then the other one that I haven't been trading for a while now, it also came out a little bit, is Tidewater. So Tidewater is also have the same pattern, base on base pattern. So this is a pretty long consolidation, and look at this. It was due to earnings, but but it finally came out, and yeah. So this is just starting to move now. So we'll see what happens. But again, we saw the US dollar at new high. The other stock that is kind of related was the machinery side. It's FTI. So this I traded this before. It has a really good run. This time, it built a pretty deep base this time, and it finally trying to come up now, and so looks pretty good. Nice cup base, and we'll see what happens. So we have next week ADP number on Wednesday. We have Powell will be testifying on Thursday, so that will be a big day. What he will say, I don't know if the market, if he's gonna say anything new, but he at least he'll be speaking. And then Friday we have the big payrolls data. So expecting 210,000 jobs to be created. So this always seems to move the market. So we'll see. And then earnings side, we had GitLab, CrowdStrike, and MongoDB. So we'll look at the accumulation distribution here. So this week, as I mentioned, Monday, Wednesday, we saw 2 index distribution. So that's starting to worry me on Wednesday, but then Thursday and Friday, you can see here the market breadth like starting to expand quite a bit. So we went from 300 stocks accumulated to 400 to 500. The distribution side is still happening. It's still, but it's stable at least. So again, we're seeing still lots of distribution, but at least on the accumulation side is stronger. And on the industry group, same thing. We're seeing more groups being accumulated than distributed. And on the net accumulation distribution for the sectors, we see technology start to pick up Thursday, Friday. We also see retail start to pick up from Wednesday to Friday. Industrial is strongest Wednesday to Friday. Health is kind of like, mumbo jumbo, like just kind of flip-flopping. But I know the index is very strong, the overall biotech index and so forth. Commodities, huge jump on Friday, probably due to the oil price. And financials are pretty stable, like they're moving as well, 35, 43. So yeah, so we still see industrial being the strongest. Very interesting. So CME Fed 2 showed no change in March, 96%. May, 81% no change. June is the big one. So this is where most analysts or some people were hoping to see a cut. So now I don't remember last week's number, but now it's 52%. So it's much higher than staying in place, 36%. So I think the market is still hoping for a June first cut, and hence market rally is still going. Not sure again if Fed will say anything to disappoint the market between now and then. That's something to watch out, because if we get, I'm seeing more analysts thinking that there might not even be a cut this year. So I don't know. We'll see. Because the numbers are so strong, right, on the economic side. And inflation hasn't come down as much as they want, so at least not near the 2% yet. It's the high 2% or 3%. So 43% stay put in July. September was the next cut. So June, September, I think the last one in December, I believe. 450. Okay, so right now looks like it's slightly a cut in November. So that has shifted from December to November, I believe. So yeah. So right now it's June, September, and November. Those 3 cuts. So again, too early to tell. Time will tell us what's going to happen. Yeah, so we are extreme greed right now on the CM Fear Greed Index. So we're near the highs right here. So they're definitely more bullish. And then AAII also went up to 46. It's not as high as early February, which is 49. And the bearishness has definitely gone lower. So 21, 22. So yeah, Jim Roper also talked about this Nasdaq. So this is short-term overbought, also oscillator. As you can see, we are near zero, meaning it's not overbought, oversold in general. So, and the only reason why this is so neutral is because, or near neutral, is because we haven't seen market breadth, right? And so that's the reason why this oscillator doesn't show it's overbought, like right here. And again, that's why there is a potential for the underdogs. I don't know if I should call them underdogs, but the laggards or something to come up, right? Like some of the small caps will catch up, mid caps will start to catch up in breadth, and that could push this higher. But right now we are, in general, we are not overbought also, despite the sentiment are still bullish. But again, it really depends on which groups and sectors you're looking at. But overall, we are still at neutral, so that's at least it gives you some sign that maybe we're not near the top yet. So the other thing that Jim Roper also mentioned about the consumers. So the consumers are doing still pretty good. Like Costco continue to go higher and higher. So there's no, uh, worries yet on the consumer side, because that's what some people argue, right? That consumers are not doing it as well. So here's the consumer staples index, and we look at the discretionary side. We're seeing sort of similar behavior. Like it's moving on an uptrend. So again, this is not the sign of recession coming, right? So this is very healthy, right? That's what he's trying to point out is we're not seeing bearish signs, right? And then again, we already look at the home builders. That's also pretty strong. So all this consumer stuff is doing pretty good right now. So some big news this week that Nvidia ended the day on Friday with a market cap of $2 trillion. So I think this is a big deal, right? Because Nvidia is starting to catch up to Microsoft and Apple, and this number is big. And again, why is it so important? Because look at this earnings, right? Three quarters of 400% plus growth on earnings, and look at the sales, right? More than double, 100 to 200%, and growing. So and people, at least from IBD Live, it feels like people take a breath of fresh air after the earnings report that, hey, you know what, this trend might be real, right? And this is 3 quarters in a row, and now very few analysts, I think even Jamie Dimon came out and say, yeah, this AI revolution is getting real. So the market really put, and this is could be the beginning, and again, no doubt there will be pullbacks and corrections, but the way Jim Roper thinks is longer term, right? So if you hold this stuff for 8 quarters of beat earnings and raise guidance, you could be up a lot. So yeah, it's definitely no doubt the leader in the market. And yeah, but we gotta look at other stocks too. Like another one that's showing really strong movement is Meta again. So this is a 3-week tight here, and it broke out from that tight area and looking very strong. So I mean, this is like the story behind this, and maybe even for me, it took me a while to get, is they have their own AI, they're building their own open source AI, but here's the thing, right? They really can use it for themselves, right? So they could really improve their ad business and so forth. So, and that's what Google is doing, but unfortunately Google suffered a blowback this week because I think there's some news that some user used their AI and it wasn't as good. There were lots of like bad results and stuff like that. And look at the stock; it's near the bottom of this current consolidation. So this looked like really bad. And this is definitely on a downtrend. So like if you draw the upper channel line right here, so I wouldn't even go near this stock until it breaks that downtrend. Yeah. Well, since we're talking about stock that are not moving, Apple is also another one on a downtrend right now. So again, same, almost similar. This is like almost scary because it's breaking. It could possibly break a long-term consolidation low here. And this is under 200-day line. The longer it stays under the 200-day line, which is this line right here, the black line. Look at how many sessions stay below it now. The longer it stays below it, the higher chance that this might be it for Apple. And I hate to say it, It's just not like here. Look at how many days, 1, 2, like 4, 5 days, and then it came back up, and then once it came back up, it never came back down. So the longer it stays below 200 day, the higher chance this could turn into a long-term downtrend. So we have to watch for this. I mean, here you have those huge big correction, but that's during you know, the bad times. But here we're talking about a bull market, right? So why is it doing this? Something fundamental is happening. And we know Buffett has been unloading. So who knows? Maybe he's unloading more. He has such a big position, right? So that's I don't know if that's happening, but I'm just guessing. Okay, so Tesla, it bounced back now a little bit. Again, I don't like this pattern because you can see, like, especially on the weekly chart, is even more obvious. Is how it like make an L-shaped pattern, right? Like it looks more like an L shape, because that means that again, it's going down fast and it's rising slowly, right? Very slowly. And the L-shaped pattern is one of the most bearish patterns. And so when I see this, it's like, you know, not good. So the downtrend is still intact, and you can see the 50-day line starting to slope down really fast now. And so you can see it's getting close to the 50-day line. If it rejects it, oh man, it could go down a lot lower if it get rejected there. So something to pay attention to. I think I missed Microsoft. Microsoft did come back on Thursday and Friday, so that looks healthy. It hasn't made a new high, but it did come back a little bit. And Amazon make a new high. So Amazon make a new high. So yeah, looking pretty good. Again, this pullback here wasn't tight enough for me, so I didn't get back in. But anyhow, I like Meta. Meta is doing well. The other stock I starting to like is Palantir. You can see here it boosts out this base and then it kind of pulled back, but then look at how fast it came back this week from that pullback. So it gets more obvious on the daily chart. So here, so you see this 3-day pullback, and then now it's coming back. So we'll see. It still have resistance around $25. So I think if it breaks this, it might be good. But if it doesn't break it, I don't know. It might come back now. Let's see. What other stocks highlighted by IBD? Okay, so they talk about Hubs, Spot, Duolingo. Yeah, Duolingo and CellH. Let's talk about those two. So Duolingo, huge bounce from the low here. It's not quite broken out from the traditional buy point. The only problem, and I did take a small position, and maybe that's all I'm going to do. The only problem with this is the earnings guidance is not so good. And so if I go look at this here, Duo. So let me show you Duo. So the earnings guidance is I believe it's negative, like negative in terms of like so if I go to Duo. Yeah, so it's okay. So it jumped back to 72%, but that's from a negative number, which means that it's still negative. So yeah, so I don't know, but the market obviously is okay with it. So sorry, let me just I think I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Let me go back to the weekly. Okay, so 72%, right? So this is from last March, negative 06. So that it was negative, right? So when you take 72% of negative number, it's still negative. And so it's still gonna project a negative number. But obviously the street thinks it could beat it. So that's why it runs so high. But yeah. So this is a very deep base. and it took 1 week to almost, like, this is a 30% correction. So that's a good thing. The technical strength is there. I am a little bit worried about the fundamental, but obviously the street didn't mind it. They're probably okay with it. So Celsius also broke out from a pretty long base, and you can see RS line hit new high with the blue dot here. So that's very positive, very technical strength is there. And it went up higher the next day after the earnings, and then it pulls back, right? So it's normal. So here's the 10-day slope. The 10-day slope is very strong right now. So we'll see what happens as it get closer to it. And then, usually the best ones are the ones that go sideways and then don't even touch the 10-day and then move up. Those are the best ones. So we'll see if that happens. But very promising so far. I think that day was very volatile. I remember you telling me how it's down at the beginning of the day and then it just shot up all of a sudden, right? So someone's buying it for sure. Yeah. So this area here, orange, is all tech stocks. Its group is sorted by relative strength. And here the blues, this area here, blue is like basically Friday's close, whether the relative strength is making new high or not. And Spotify continues to let's just show you. It's super extended. I saw it too early. There's no doubt about that. It continues to run, and yeah, it make new high on Friday. You see that. ACMR also came out from earnings, I believe. It was very strong. Yeah, very strong. Like I think it came out really hard. Let me see. ACMR. Yeah, see, came out like I missed this. I wasn't even paying attention because it was not on my watch list, so I missed this. But anyhow, it came out and look at this follow through here, super strong, unbelievable. GCT, Nvidia, yeah, NTNX also came out. So a lot of stocks are starting to, that was kind of not moving and all of a sudden came out, right? So here you go. So here's a, recent consolidation and then it came out. I mean, again, is this tight enough? Like I think IBD identifies, 3-week tight area. So we're seeing lots of 3-week tight area and then moving higher, right? So this is another example of that. Palantir, Meta, AMD. Yeah, AMD is, I think, did I show the chart? No, I don't think I've shown it. So yeah, AMD, same thing. You can see very tight action here, and then it came out, right? And it came out really strong. So this is right here, consolidation, and then boom. So that's another one. IoT, HIMS. I think HIMS moved big this week as well because of earnings, I believe. I also missed this one. I don't know what there might be also other news related. Can't remember. So we have again, earnings related, came out pretty hard, and now it's starting to go sideways a little bit as the 10-day catch up. So again, same. We're seeing lots of these patterns right now, and we'll see if it as the 10-day comes up, whether it will come to 10-day or whether it's just going to bounce as it gets nearer. So those are good signs. Words also moving a little bit. PSN, this one, yeah, I had this stock. It's still very strong. BAN is a new one that just came out. Okta, yeah, Okta was strong, right, on the earnings. So we saw Zscaler went down, but Okta did well. Look at how tight it's trading right now. So we'll see. Again, the 10-day is going to catch up, and we'll see how it reacts near that area. We're going to talk. So CRM also came out on earnings. Not as big, but it's still okay. So here you go. Here's the earnings right here. I believe this is also a tight area here. Okay, yeah, look, it's 3-week tight right here. So yeah, CVLT also came out. This is a database guy. So here you go, tight area, and then came out. So we're seeing lots of this pattern. So because the recent pullback wasn't long enough, but it was for Nvidia it's only 7 days, really short. But for most other stocks was like 2 to 3 weeks. So that's that one. Hubs. Let's show Hubs because it was also mentioned IBD. So Hubs also trying to come out now. It's not quite a tight area. So the tight area, how IBD defines it, is when the close of each week are very tight, meaning like within 1% or so. But this one is more like a pullback. So why is tight area considered good? Because it shows that by the end of the week, people weren't willing to let it go down lower, right? It always bid it back up. And that's the reason why the tight patterns were usually much better than a pullback pattern, especially for short like pullback, right? I'm not saying a pullback doesn't work. It's just tight patterns are better. Pure Storage also came out on earnings. I can't remember if they said something about AI. They did, I think. Somehow it boosts their demand for their storage stuff, I think. So really strong move. Like this is incredible 2-day move so far, and I missed this first day. So P-Core, nice, ADSK, DY, Q-War also came out, EVH. Any other tech sector, tech stock you want to look at? Yeah, just shout it out. I'm going to continue right now.
Yeah. Are you looking at Bitcoin related, like
Yeah,
and
right. We can look at that. So Abercrombie and Fitch, you can see, like I even draw the upper channel line here, and you can see how it started to curve up, right? The 10-day, the 21-day. So we are definitely on the last run. This is incredible, 300%. It's a long run. It's probably one of the longest runs, like in terms of I can find on any chart right now. It's the longest run. Like you can see, like I took profit around here. So this is also another like strong fundamental stock, right? Like look at those growth in earnings. So yeah, let's look at some of the coin stuff. MicroStrategy. Wow, look at this. Like I think this one was the one that gained the most this week, like almost 50%. Yeah. So this is a huge run right now. Like I mean, I don't have any of this. I missed them. So really good. This is this is the first breakout. Came back to 10-day. Like look at how it obeys the 10-day. Really strong. So like to me, this is like almost like a climax run, but we'll see. So MSTR. What's the other one? Mara, right? Mara.
coin.
Yeah, Mara. So this one have a bad earnings. Like the earnings didn't do well for them. So I think that was the only one that was down that day. Coin. The coin didn't move as much because I think they had some issue with their account stuff. Some people got $0 in their account or something.
Yeah.
But it didn't correct much, so I don't know. It's just going sideways, so maybe it probably can move more. What's this one? Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, holding really tight. Yeah, looking good. See, so the holding tight pattern and waiting for the 10-day to catch up. So these are all good signs, right? They just don't want to come back down. So yeah, so if you're holding, I think it's a holding sign right now. Yeah, any other ones you want to look at?
Yeah. So Palo Alto Network and PRWD.
Palo Alto. Oh man, this one don't look good, right? So it came back up and then it fell. It got rejected. Downtrend is intact. Look at this. Don't look good. What was the other one?
CrowdStrike.
CrowdStrike. So I don't know what's happening with the security software group, right? Like this is also not a good pattern. You can see it making new lows compared to here, and volume is higher. Estimate 3 days coming up in earnings. So yeah, this group, you know, when they get punished big, right? Like Zscaler got punished big. You know, so I don't know, man. Something's happening with this group, which and mostly not on the good side. The only one that came out, Okta, right, was the one that did well, but most of them are not doing so well. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Yeah. Just shout anything else you want to talk about. On the retail side, we see Make My Trip. Okay, so EDU is I'm starting to build on this position. It's my second biggest right now, and that's something I want to improve better. I think I talk about this before. Last run I caught SMCI, but because I wasn't doing a lot of concentrating, so it didn't affect my portfolio as much as it should, even though I catch the run. So I'm trying to be better at that and concentrate on the strongest one. So EDU is one that is very strong. You see how it hold 10 day, like this is obeying the 10-day line very well. The trajectory of the 10-day slope is 45-degree angle. So I'm trying to a little bit extended now from the breakout point, but I like to add a little bit as it goes up. So yeah, so I have my full position, but like I said, I want to continue to add more, be able to concentrate more into this stock. So yeah, so EDU is really strong. Wing is super extended. We already talked about Cell Edge. TM Toyota is also extended. Netflix hitting new high. Again, you know, they all consider extended in my point of view, but you know, if you want to add to it, that's probably okay, because they kind of like the consolidation. That there's a difference, right? Like I only try to buy on 2-week tights or you know something like that. But if it's a pullback, like sometimes I don't buy on that unless I have an initial position. LNW, I think this one has finally moved. Okay, I've been watching this stock for a long time, and based on the fundamentals, I heard anyway, I don't know, they're doing something great. So here's the breakout, and like I said, you know, even the previous breakout, it didn't move much, and this breakout also didn't move much, but this breakout finally moved, and I missed the initial breakout, so I buy it pretty late this week. But it's moving, right? And the 10-day slope is really strong. So, and look at this volume, like, and the selling volume is like almost nothing. So something is happening to this stock. And then you can see on the earnings side, right? 100, 600, 800%. This is huge numbers. So like ANF, right? Like Nvidia, right? We're not talking about just 100%. We're talking about a few 100% growth here. So these are really strong fundamental. But it took a while for this to finally move. BRBR, cosmetics also doing really well. Race, RCL, some of these are older names. Kawa, yeah, I want to talk about Kawa. So this wasn't on my radar until the most recent earnings. It came out, the numbers are solid. You can see here 100, 100, 100. But not only that, you know, the chart looks really good. Like this is a cup with handle pattern, and look at the volume, right, on this breakout, really strong, like overtake all the previous selling. And look at how tight since after it moved. This is pretty tight. So, and this is obviously IPO, and everybody on IBD Live say they try to go to it, and it's like, oh, super nice, super long lineup, food is good. It's yeah, everything's good. So I like this IPO. So we'll see. Looking very good. So yeah, let me just move quicker. A few minutes left. So on the industrial side, I mean, these are really expensive stocks. Powell, I'm not in any of them because I already sold them. Like, look at Powell. I just want to show, right? Like, this is not even a 1 week tight. So that's why I couldn't get back in, but it just continued to run. Okay, so the only one I was able to get in, VRT. So VRT has a slightly tighter like pullback, and I was able to get back in, and it's starting to move again. So, but it is still considered very extended. But again, depends how you want to add into it. So that one, yeah. So that one, if it works, I might continue to add to that one. STR also moving. AZAC, CMPR tracks. GE still running strong. I mean, you can look at the chart. It's just super strong. I wish I didn't sell it too early. It's just so strong. Like right now, you can see this is my upper channel line. Once it broke it, I sold some and sold more, and then eventually I ran out. So I think I was done around here. But look at how fast it's moving now. It's just, we're definitely on the last leg of this rally. So, because they're running like rampage, man. Even for a stock like GE, right? Fix, yeah, extended. Like a lot of the stock, like I got into Road this week, but because it broke out. This is again a laggard, but it's who knows? We'll see. Like this is what I'm talking about. Are the laggards going to join this rally and hold, or are they just going to, not, going to fall back? I don't know. APG is also a new name in the security side. Some is doing well. Let's look at some. Another one that also came out is so this one's doing really well right now. ERJ is another one that just came out. Also very strong right here. So all these stocks are, I think ERJ, like almost every person on IBD Live has it. It just came out. Berkshire, LPX, EMR. On the healthcare side, like Lilly, Novo, those are still strong. So you can see here, like right now it's this tight action right now, so it could come back out. And VO, I think MVO already came out. It came out earlier, yes. Well, not quite. So just a tiny point away. Colette, I like this one. Not too many people have this, but I like the action. Look at how, again, it came out, and then look at how tight this action is, and it didn't even want to touch the 10-day. Anytime you see that, like, it's an automatic ad for me. ANIP also came out, DVA, ICLR, Vortex, Broker Car also came out, ASTH, newer name, it's getting strong. We already talked about the oil and gas group here. Talk about Mara. So Tree is a new one on my list. Very strong relative strength. I played this a few times. It's just having a hard time. It's more choppy. So I wasn't even sure I want to get in. But this is a big shakeout. This right here, huge shakeout, upside reversal, and follow through. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'll take first position. I don't know about add to it, but it is very choppy. So, but it hasn't worked for a long time. So maybe this time it finally worked. FTAI also doing well. KKR doing well. Toll Brothers, we will talk about. SKWD, pretty strong. PRB also doing well. AMK, these are newer names on my list. Square still doing okay. Four is very choppy as well. I took a position in 3, but I didn't take a position in 4. Yeah, because you can see it, like anytime I see the relative strength like choppy, I don't tend to want to get into it. I feel like I get shaken out a lot when I do that. So yeah, so even though I broke out here, like, I mean, this is a big upside reversal, just like 3. So I hope Tree doesn't do this, but it's very, very choppy. It's hard to hold those stocks. Ryan also came out. So Ryan, I've traded this before. Hasn't really make a big move. So right now, yeah, right now it's breaking out strong. So we'll see. So this is pretty strong right now. So I did take a position in that. Yeah, in general, I think we still seeing lots of like all the ones down here are pretty much not doing as well. Crowd, Workday, DB. Yeah, so there's still lots of stocks that are not doing well. So this week, I mean, you know, so I would be cautious still, but you know, but at least I think the breadth is expanding. I don't think I've ever seen this many stocks on my list in a week. So and also spread out right throughout different sectors. So that's you know, but again, earnings season is winding down, so what kind of catalyst could spark the market higher is probably the next question too. That's pretty much it, man. What's next?